While tariffs provided the colonial governments with much revenue, they restricted trade and movement between the colonies. Tariffs increased the cost of goods and made it hard for manufacturers based outside a colony to compete with local producers. Trade restrictions also inconvenienced travelers. The train journey between Melbourne and Sydney was delayed at the border in Albury while customs officials searched passengers' luggage. Free traders were among the most vocal supporters of federation, arguing that it would strengthen the economy by abolishing tariffs and creating a single market.
The first histories of Eureka were those made by contemporaries, both officially, in the parliamentary inquiries and commissions, and as private authors. Of the latter, the most remarkable is Raffaello Carboni's The Eureka Stockade, 1855, which offers a vivid and eccentric history by a participant. Later 19th-century historians of the event include Henry Giles Turner. In the liberal version of Australian history, Eureka was a central part of the story of how the Australian people became citizens through the achievement of representative and responsible government. H.V. Evatt argued that Australian democracy was born at Eureka, and Geoffrey Searle in his The Golden Age, 1963, endorsed the description of Eureka as a fight for freedom and a democratic protest against arbitrary government.
The miners at Eureka struck out against British imperial authority, swore to defend the flag of the Southern Cross as a distinctively Australian symbol, and hinted at the possibility that Australia might reluctantly need to become independent of Britain. Radical nationalist historians, such as R.S. Ross in Eureka, Freedom's Fight of 54, 1914, Robin Gallen in his Radical and Working Class Politics, and to some extent Manning Clark in A History of Australia, have produced more heroic versions of Eureka, seeing it as one of the first important statements of Australian nationalism, and as perhaps the first great event in the emergence of the labour movement. An important strand of this interpretation has stressed the Irish presence at Eureka, a theme in C. H. Curry's 1954 The Irish at Eureka and in John Maloney's 1984 narrative account, Eureka. Literary writing from the 1880s tended also to reproduce a nostalgic and heroic account of Eureka.